Welcome everybody to another NTLkrayZ Shoutcast. This is going to be a game between kapnkaos and LvLoneninja. LvLoneninja will be our blue Protoss today, and kapnkaos is going to be our red Zerg. Excuse me. Alright, and this game is from the Starcraft Arena 1v1 League, and it should be a very good game. I have it on good authority that this is one of the more exciting games out there. Now getting things started off, we have our normal build orders going on right now. Nothing all that fancy. We have this probe coming out. What's he going to be doing? He's going to be popping down a pylon right there. Normal. Just make sure he's not getting supply capped. And he is stuck there. I'd like to see a shift queue there, just so he can pop out the pylon and then come back and quickly be able to mine up again. And he's not... Okay, that's interesting. The Zerg player chose not to send his Overlord to scout his opponent. Which... On Blistering Sands isn't all that unusual just because of how quickly some unit, especially if there's a Terran on the other side, it's very easy to just quickly snipe that Overlord, and you already know where your opponent is. So it's sometimes better just to send a drone scout out just to see what's going on. We have a gateway coming down for LvLoneninja, and interesting, we do not have a spawning pool. Are we going to see a 14 spawning pool? Yes, we are. We are going to see a 14 spawning pool coming from the Zerg player. So it's more of an economic focus for our Zerg player here. Alright, in comes the scouting pro. Let's see what he can see here. It doesn't look like he's going to be looking for anything, really. He just kind of just sits there. That's interesting. Goes in, back out, and now he's going in. Let's see what he sees. He quickly does see the spawning pool. That's really all he wants to see at the moment. All he needs to see as he sits there. Maybe even try a gas steal. It's one of those maybe, maybe not. He is getting his own gas, however, but there's nobody in it. He does get the cybernetics core down. Very nicely done. He has his first zealot out, ready to take on any Zerglings that decide to come up and try and destroy his base. Alright, we've got 3 overlords. Very nicely done on the scouting here. He has his overlords like this, and that's not bad. It's really actually good, because now he can be able to see whenever a unit is coming in, especially if he was against Terran. He'd be able to see when the Reapers are bouncing up and down these cliffs. Alright, we have 2 probes going out. Looks like they're each going to go take a respective Xel'Naga watchtower, unless he's trying to set up a really forward expansion. And I don't think, especially since they're splitting up, and this one looks like it's headed straight for the Xel'Naga. Yeah, this looks like this is going to be at least taking this Xel'Naga. I wonder what this one's going to do. Alrighty, here we've got another gateway going down for the Protoss player, along with warp gates and another pylon. Where's that other pylon? Oh, nicely done. Denying any expansion, at least until they can get some basic units out. Alrighty. Looks like we've got some Zerglings being trained up, 4 Zerglings, and we have a Roach Warren. Nice. That is very nice for our Zerg player. For some reason, the Zerg player has decided to sit around 500 minerals. Interesting choice. Alright, there come out the Zerglings right when that probe gets pinned and killed. But did you see that, guys? Roll that back if you didn't. There was a blue outline on this Roach Warren. The blue player did scout that and did see it. Let's see how he reacts. Nicely done. He quickly puts down a robotic facility. That way they can get the Immortals out. And that's going to be a very effective counter against the Roaches, as the Roaches are one of those units that do extra damage, and the Immortals' hardened shields will reduce that damage done. We have a sentry out and 3 zealots for the Protoss player. Nice. That way then he can wall off his choke using those force fields. Very nicely done. We have the assimilator going down. Just finished going down. Excuse me. And let's see here. Chrono boosting probes out, and it does look like we're going to be taking out this pylon here. Alright, let's see how this drone does decide to put down a hatchery. So we do have a second hatchery coming down for the red Zerg player. Nice, very nice. Queen over here injecting larger. Well, looks like we're going up to lair tech, ladies and gentlemen. We will be seeing lair tech from the Zerg player. I like lair tech. It's very fun. It provides for some interesting play. I'd like to maybe see mutas out, as those are wonderful counters to the Immortals. We do have a Forge coming out, so I expect to be seeing some level 1 and level 2 ground weapons and armor for his forces right here. And let's look at the army tab. It does look like blue has an advantage, especially now that this Immortal came out. And does look like red decided to destroy this poor little probe and take over the Xel'Naga Watchtower. Poor probe, never stood a chance. Just too many forces. Alrighty. And does look like the pylon here, so level 1 should be able to scout this, as he does. And let's see how he reacts. He's choosing not... Okay, he's gonna send some of his forces. I think he's trying to decide how many forces he wants to send, how many forces he's not gonna send. Interesting. Now the Stalker's gonna come. Go ahead, Zerg, move your Lings back when that happens. They can't range on the roaches, I believe. So you should be just fine. Ah, now the Immortal gets involved. Blasting away at the Zerglings, taking down 2 health. 2 Immortals, Stalker, and a Sentry very well might be able to push this off. That, especially now that he's warping in 2 more Zealots. Nicely done by the Protoss player, and the Zerg player is forced to retreat. And those Lings win the race against the Roaches, like always. Those silly little Lings are just so dang fast, especially when they got speed, like these ones do. Alrighty, he's leaving his forces here. Probably not a bad idea. He does have 3 Zealots at his choke to make sure no Lings make sure the Lings don't get a run by. Does look like he's going to send this probe up to the Xel'Naga Watchtower, as we have 3 Lings coming in. No, we don't. Never mind. They're going back home. Nope, now they're going in. We got some 880 Lings here, and they can't quite decide what they want to do. Go in! Or not. Maybe he's going to go up and... he's got a probe! And he chooses not to attack it. Instead, he goes for the Xel'Naga Watchtower, sends 2 down and away. That was very interesting. Why not take a free probe when you can? Probe for lunch. Yeah, poor probe, he died. No chance. That Ling is, I guess, a forward scout, as is that one. Interesting. That was entertaining, ladies and gentlemen. Poor Ling never stood a chance. I don't even think he got an attack off. Nope. Yes, he did. He took down 5 Stalker shields. Poor Stalker. Alrighty, here we go. This is going to be a good matchup right here, as we have, 3 Hydras coming in. The Stella's were on force move, guys. Attack move when you're going to go into in your opponent's base. Attack move. Alright, we do have Hydras coming up, which are going to be fairly effective, are going to be quite effective against the Immortals, as they have a high attack speed and can do lots of damage very quickly. And he's not going to get it. Oh, very nicely done. He saved that Immortal. Nice. Very, very, very well done. Alright, going to the Army tab. We have 1,000 minerals, 1,000 mineral blue army versus a 700 mineral red army. It looks like the red army likes its chances. And is he going to get that? He is going to get it. Nicely done. He got a Zealot. And, he is going to try and focus down the... And he does get that. Don't focus down this pylon, focus down the units. Get that Immortal out of the way. That's the big guy. He does lots of damage, and he does it fast. 22 points of damage versus about the same speed, 11. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, going to the production tab. We do have a Dark Shrine coming in for the Protoss player. That we are going to see DTs, and that might spell doom for the Zerg players. He's got all his forces rallied here. He is putting down an extractor as we speak. Very nicely done. He's got plenty of overlords, so if he can transform any of them into a overseer, he should be just fine, and you'll give him detection. And let's see what we have going on over here. We have another gateway coming in. And here comes another one. So we're going to go into a 4-gate with a Robo-Bay and a Dark Shrine. We've got the Let's see here. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, we have a Nidus Worm. Let's see if we can find that. There it is. A Nidus Worm coming in from the Zerg. Nidus Worm play has been huge lately, even in the pro games. I love watching some good Korean players have lots of fun with Nidus Worms. So it looks like we're going to have an engagement here. The Zealots are moving in, using their charge to try and get as many attacks on those Zealots as the Zerglings as they can. An Overseer's here, so the blue Protoss player now does know. It does look like the Protoss player's army is going to be taken out. He's sitting at 100 and he has a 0 mineral army and 25 probes, it looks like. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is what it looks like. 12 Lings, 5 Hydras, and 10 Overlords for our Protoss, a Zerg player with 2 Roaches splashed in for effect. Loading them into the Nidus Worm. Where's this Nidus Worm going to be popping up? We only have... Nope, we now have 5 Zealots. That is all that is out for the Protoss, and they're all down here next to his expansion. In comes the Overseer to place down a Nidus Worm. If he can place a Nidus Worm here, that's going to be huge, ladies and gentlemen. You heard me. That's going to be huge. And it comes. Let's see. Can our Protoss player see this? No, he can't. He cannot see it. He will be able to hear it. Let's watch and see how he reacts over here. Quickly, he brings in his Zealots. This is going to be huge. He has his Warp Prism. Where is he going to send that Warp Prism? Looks like it's sending it across the map. In comes the Zergling, going straight for the mineral line, doing tons and tons of damage, taking down the Zealot. Though that Zealot didn't stand a chance. What do we have being warped in? We have Dark Templar, ladies and gentlemen. Dark Templar coming in. We do have an Overseer right here, so if he were to just move his Overseer in, he'd be able to take out these Dark Templar. But it looks like the Dark Templar are going unchecked, able to take out tons and tons of units. And I do not believe our Zerg player realizes that's going on. He may be macroing too hard at home. 2 more Lings, 3 more Hydras going in. Looks like they'll be going straight into the Nidus Worm and immediately popping out to continue this. We still have those Dark Templar doing tons and tons of damage. 1 Roach going down, another Roach going down. Can he get this last Roach? He finally comes in. He does get the last Roach, and he's quickly focus firing the Nidus Worm. Can he get it? He does. Now, can't do these. Is there enough? Does look like there's enough. Quickly, take out that other Nidus Worm before it pops. 2 strikes each, and it's down. Very nicely dealt with the Protoss player. I do believe that the Zerg player should have been bringing in his Overseers earlier. If he would have brought in his Overseer with his army, he would have been just fine and would have been able to withstand that attack. We have 1 probe in production and 2 Hydras in production. Let's go look at the army tab. The armies are literally about even exactly in both minerals and gas. But I do believe the Protoss player will have an advantage just because of the Dark Templar. He does have a expansion up, so if we were to look at the income, he will be ahead. Does look like he is, as this is not saturated at all. 3 probes does not a mineral eating party make. Alrighty, we do have some Lings and a couple Hydra down here. A quick response force team able to take out some units very nicely. We have a Warp Prison here. I'm wondering what he's going to go do with this Warp Prison, as I really like to see some good Warp Prism play. It's very annoying as a Terran player myself to have units being warped in right behind your base, and you scouted and there was no pylon, but no, now there's a Warp Prism, excuse me. Alrighty, in comes a Zerg force. He's going immediately for the gas. Now he's just walking straight into that mineral line. Many losses. These probes need to get out of there. But it does look like that the Zealots will be attacking first. Now, does he remember to put probes in gas? That is the question. Does not look like he does, as there's no probes up here, and there's only 1 down there. Alright, and here comes the Hydras falling back, and the reason why? Because we have Dark Templar, ladies and gentlemen. Dark Templar has spawned in the Red Zerg's base, coming from this Warp Prism. What did I tell you? I love to see the the Warp Prism play. Go ahead and warp in a ton more Dark Templar, please. They're very entertaining to watch.